Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Murse Monday. This is a weekly show that I do where I just want to bring a little thought, a little value, a little perspective from the worker's thought, from the worker's mind, from the worker's point of view. Whatever you want to call it, I'm a registered nurse by profession, and I do this show just so I can bring you some value. Tonight I have a really good thought that I want to bring to you, and it was in a conversation amongst a family member that I had tonight where it kind of happened, so we both said it at the same time. But we need to choose life over liability. Hey Anna, thank you for joining me. So again, we need to choose life over liability. Now what does that mean? A lot of patients in the nursing homes, a lot of patients in the hospital setting, they're restrained, they have alarms on them, they're discouraged of getting up. Now a lot of times we don't want them to get up because they will get hurt. But also step back and ask yourself, what are we really worried about? Is it the sense of liability that we're worried about, or will they really get hurt? Are we debilitating patients and different people because we are not letting them get up and ambulate and walk throughout the facility and take care of themselves? In the nursing home, a lot of times we are so cautious of patients not falling. A lot of it is liability. So what I want to say, hey, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate the comments tonight, guys. And if you guys have any thoughts, please leave them below. It really means a lot. A lot of it is liability. And now reflecting back onto the days when I did work in the nursing homes, a lot of times when we had a patient that was, with an alarm on them and that we really stopped them from walking, they could do a lot more than we let them because maybe the paperwork, maybe the liability, accumulation of things. And so tonight, this is why this show is such a great thing, because we could take a thought, we could take a different point of view and just bring it to the surface and talk about it. And if you're a nurse, if you're a caretaker, let's step back and choose life over liability. Let's be advocates for the patients to be more self-sufficient and be more advocates of the patients actually getting up and not being worried about, we are worried about them falling. We don't want them to fall. It really is a detrimental thing to someone at that age and that situation in life. Falling really does a bad thing. That's very true. They do agitate them. They hear the beeping. That was Keeks. They hear the patients hear the beeping and they get angry, and it would go off and they would almost stumble over themselves trying to stop the alarm or trying to get to it to quit the sound. And so you're so right, and we see that a lot of times where a lot of reasons why we put these patients on them is because they do fall, but what if they can fall safely? What if they can catch themselves? What if they're strong enough to do that? There's a lot of thoughts we can have here, so I encourage you guys to leave a comment, leave a message. Murse Monday is just a show I do each week to bring a little tidbit of value. Memesto is a tool that I created because I was in this situation as a nurse. I was in the nursing home setting where all we had was these alarms. We didn't have things that would encourage patients to not get out of their chair, and we didn't have we didn't have the proper tools, and we needed a different tool, so I created it. And I joined with this group of engineers that brought that side of the development to it. So the innovation of a worker combined with the engineers and the thought and the ingenuity to take something to reality. I'm just really excited to introduce Memesto because I hope that it gives and helps you choose life over liability. I hope that it's a tool that can help you to help your patients not fall as much, or possibly reduce some negative consequences by having, not remembering that they can't walk as good, whatever it may be. And I ask you as nurses and healthcare takers, let's step back and really be advocates for our patients. And ask yourself, what are we doing? Is it life or liability? And I really like that statement. And what's our direction with healthcare, and what are we concerned with in that essence? Now again, we need to restrain people because they need it for their own safety, for different reasons. And a lot of times the alarms and the seat belts, we're not able to use them because they're considered restraints in the nursing home, when a lot of times we needed these sort of things because they when you had a seatbelt on somebody that was a constant fall risk, that once they go to get up that they are going to fall, why wouldn't you put a seatbelt on somebody? But, you know, somewhere someone misused that tool, and that's why it became a problem. And, you know, it's a very difficult process to get a seatbelt on somebody in a nursing home. But the alarms and the different things that we have and preventing them from ambulate, we need to encourage them to be more self-sufficient, and we need to encourage patients to do the most they can for themselves, because that's how they maintain what they have. It's an old saying, and it's so simple. If you don't use it, you lose it. So we need to keep our patients doing as much as they can. Anyway, Murse Monday is a weekly show that I do just to bring a little thought to reality. If you have a comment, please leave it below. If you have a message or a topic that you'd like to discuss, or even a thought, please don't hesitate to let me know. I can't see the rest of your comment, but I appreciate you commenting and being a part of this show so much. I truly appreciate people engaging. I just want to bring a thought to reality, and the more I created Memesto, the more I tried to show it to people, I really realized we're at a huge deficit in this era. A lot more CNAs, a lot more nurses, a lot more people need to step up and talk about the things that you already do just to complete your job, because it's such a valuable piece of information for somebody who has a newfound diagnosis of dementia, of confusion. They've never dealt with this, where we deal with it all the time just to get through the day, to keep our patients safe and all these different things. Please step out and let people know your tidbits of information. That's all I'm trying to do. So when you comment, I truly appreciate it. And it means so much to me. Like I said, I've created a tool because I needed it as a nurse. And the more I got into the realm, I realized that we need a thought from a nurse's perspective. And that's what this is. And if you are a nurse, if you're a caretaker, if you're a patient, if you're a family member, I encourage you to let's have some dialogue. Let's see how we can improve things, and let's see how we can take things to the next level. We're already so lucky in the situation that we're in healthcare, and it can only get better, and that's the wonderful thing about it. And so I appreciate you viewing, I appreciate you commenting, and head over to Memesto.com. That's what I'm doing to try to improve the current situation, like I always say. And tonight, I really want to ask you, are we choosing life or liability when it comes to fall risks with a lot of patients? I haven't really marketed it yet, because that's a different question. We can talk through direct message, or you can see my I'll send you my phone number. We can have a discussion about that. At this point, it's a very big barrier to get a tool to become real, to get to have an idea become reality. I've always been an inventor, a guy with thoughts, ideas. I kept a journal since I was young, and I always wanted to take one of my ideas to reality. And in 2014, I said, I'm going to do this. And a couple weeks later, this idea came in my head. So to get the process of even becoming a real functional tool has been such a long thing and such a long process, that the marketing and the other side of it is, I hope it'll fall in the line as it goes. You know, I haven't really pushed the marketing side of it. I just rely on people like yourself and other people that just share what we're doing. The tool, I created this tool because I needed it, honestly, and the more that we use it, the more that I'm a part of it. It's so simple, it's so needed. It's an awesome thing, and I hope everybody knows about it, and really hopefully people do. And I'm going to start releasing more video testimonials. I'm going to also release some videos of the tool working. But like I said, it's coming in January, and that's when it'll actually be done, and it'll be shipped out. You can pre-order it now. We are getting some pre-orders, and people who are familiar with this realm of patient care, they understand what we're doing, but it is a new concept. It's never existed. Repetitive message therapy has never existed, so there's a huge awareness, a huge education that we need to provide to people to let them know what we're offering. It's so simple when a patient's trying to get out of the building because they want to see their kids, to let them know that their kids are okay and safe. It's just so simple. I really appreciate you saying, I feel the same way, and I've always I've always felt that it will just get the traction that it needs, and once everything is just always fallen into line with it. And so I think once it's actually here and we're letting people use it, and anybody can buy it, and it's out there, I'll let you guys in on a super secret thing right now, because you guys are joining me on Murse Monday. We've worked with a large music company. I don't want to say the name yet. I don't know if I can say it publicly, but Memesto will come preloaded with 10 songs. So these songs are going to be free. So right out of the box, this tool you can pull out, implement music as a recreational purpose for these people that need it so much. Music is so simple. We just needed a tool to implement it, right? So that's what I created. And then it also does the messages, but you don't have to have the messages always. And I'm going to show you more stories and more different ways how to use it as time progresses. But I really appreciate you being involved and leaving a comment. It really means a lot. And I honestly, this tool is going to do so much good, and it's going to help so many people. And the people that I partnered with, and the people that I've been working with, Rick Blake, it's a wonderful thing. He's affected by the disease personally, and he's a really big business guy, and for him to get involved in something like this, it really, all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and I'm just so excited that it's happening, and I'm so grateful that people are inquiring about it. It's for Alzheimer's patients, is what I created for, or dementia. I want to say dementia. So I created it because I had a patient who was trying to get out of the building. I loved the lady. I always loved few of my ladies, and all my patients. But anyway, I was really close with the family, and so I had the idea to record a message from the daughter that said everything was okay and that they were in the right place. And at the time, I was building guitar amplifiers. So I kind of combined that. I put that audio track on a CD and made this little amplifier, and I was putting it on her at work. And when she would get worked up, I would play the message from her daughter, and it instantly worked. And now that it's here and we created it, it's so simple to think about. We're treating anxiety at the root cause. I don't know if I could say treating anxiety. I'm just a nurse, and I'm just this is all for seek other information medically if you need it. But all I'm saying is when someone's trying to get out of the door because they're looking for their kids, if we had a message that was related to that, it really works to resolve those behaviors. Also, listening to music is a wonderful thing, and it changes our mood and it changes our behavior. So utilizing the distraction technique of music, along with what I created, repetitive message therapy, combined into a functional tool, is what Memesto is. So Memesto is a tool that was designed to be worn right here so that the music is in the vicinity of the person. It could be on the walker, on the wheelchair, it could be on the Jerry chair, on the wheelchair. It comes with a few different mounting apparatuses. Well, great. I'll show you a little more. I'm giving away a little bit more tonight because we're really getting close to the point where it's going to be here, and I just need people to see what it is. And I really think if you take care of those people, you'll understand. And any caretaker always does. It's just this barrier of people. It's just the awareness. So anyway, the front button. You can change the function of the front button to either play the message, skip the track, or disable it. And I don't want to go too much in this. It could get a little confusing, but you can change the function of the front button. The purpose of that is so that the patient or the user can hold the thing and they find comfort in hearing their loved one's voice, maybe controlling the music, or if they press it like this, you can disable it so it doesn't work at all. The back side, and this isn't what it will exactly look like, so actually I won't even show it again. The back side, that is what the caretaker would set up. So if they need music, you can have music. If you need messages and music, you can set messages or a message to repeat at a time interval of 1 minute to 300 minutes. And music playing. So music's playing, and every 15 minutes, the message would play. So, if someone doesn't know where they're at, they regress through Maslow's where they don't know that they're safe and secure. What if at their memory deficit, we can remind them that they're safe and secure. We're already doing this in nursing homes, but I want to propose this as a question, because once I say it like this, it's really so simple. So in that scenario, what was he trying to get out the window to do? And that's, as caretakers and as people who are there with them all the time, we know better than the family sometimes, and we need to really look for it. Like I've always said, I'm from the fruit belt, so I've taken care of countless farmers who just wanted to get their Chevy truck. I've told them countless times that their Chevy truck was in the shop and that it will be there later. And countless times it worked, right? So what if we had a message that we could utilize from their family member that said, your Chevy truck's in the shop. Everything's okay, Dad. I love you. It's so simple. Like I was saying before, if we had a patient that we have in a geri chair that is end-stage dementia, end-stage geriatrics, what if we could remind them that they're loved and safe throughout the day, along with wonderful music? And like I said, this tool will come preloaded with music, but you can put any music you want on it, and you can put as many messages as you want on it. So, oh, also, there's an onboard recording mic, so if you need a new message, you can call up a family member on the phone, put them on speakerphone, record the message directly to it, and you have that message now if the behavior ever happens again. So a lot of times in this sort of setting, these people will exhibit 1, 2, 3 of the similar things, and agree with me or disagree with me in the comments. You know, usually they'll have one kid that they're looking for, or trying to go to work or church, or whatever their scenario is. A lot of times they revert and regress to that area. Another beautiful thing that we found and that we're doing is that as you age, your face changes, but your voice doesn't change. Your voice pretty much remains the same. So when your family member sees you and they're back 20, 30, 40 years ago, they can't recognize you because you look old. If you separate your face from the voice, check the ABC 57 story that they did. If you see it, that's the beautiful thing that I saw, is that as the daughter sat right next to her mom, who she didn't remember that day, she saw her mom remember her with her hearing the message. And like I said, just check out the ABC story. It's really simple. And I've been dragging this one on. I don't usually talk this long, but I really appreciate the engagement. I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, please leave them below. If you have any thoughts and you don't want to share them with everybody, go ahead and message me. What I do, I just want to help. I'm a nurse in the working setting, and I want to help, and I want to create an awareness around the CNA that's been doing this for 20 years, because that's where we should learn how to take care of people from. Those are the people who should be teaching us how to take care of these patients. And because as a lot of times in the acute care setting, in any different setting, we're still learning how to deal with this disease, and so we really need to step back and realize that. And anyway, I appreciate your time more than you can ever imagine. If you have any questions, email me, message me, call me, anything. This is Murse Monday, and I do this every week. I'll see you here next week.